Welcome to QuickStory English. Today's story is a heart-touching love story about patience, distance, and destiny. Listen carefully, learn new English words, and enjoy this emotional journey. Let's begin. It all started in the quiet town of Maplewood, where the air always smelled of rain and coffee. In this town lived a young woman named Emma Green, a 24-year-old teacher who loved books more than anything else. She had soft brown hair, curious eyes, and a gentle voice that made her students listen with full hearts. Emma lived alone in a small apartment above a bakery. Every morning, she woke up to the smell of freshly baked bread and the laughter of children walking to school. Her life was simple: quiet lessons, evening walks, and long talks with her cat Luna. But deep inside, she dreamed of love, a kind of love that felt like home. One rainy afternoon, while checking her mailbox, Emma found a letter that wasn't meant for her. The envelope said, "To Mr. James Miller, apartment 3B. Emma lived in 3A. The postman must have made a mistake." The envelope was cream-colored and smelled faintly of lavender. She held it for a moment, curious about the handwriting, elegant and strong. She decided to return it to its owner. When she knocked on 3B, a man opened the door. He looked about 28, with tired blue eyes and messy hair. His shirt had ink stains. Maybe a writer, she thought. "Oh, hi," Emma said softly. "I think this was delivered to me by mistake." James smiled. "Thank you. I've been waiting for this letter all week." He looked embarrassed but kind. "I'm James," he added. "I moved in last month." That was how it began, with one simple mistake, one simple knock. Days passed, and Emma often met James in the hallway or at the bakery downstairs. He was a writer working on his first novel. When he spoke, his voice carried both passion and doubt, the voice of someone chasing a dream. One morning he invited her for coffee. They sat near the window of the bakery, watching the rain draw lines on the glass. "I'm writing about love," James said. "But it's hard to describe something I've never really felt." Emma smiled shyly. "Maybe you'll find inspiration around you." He looked at her, and for a moment, the sound of the rain seemed to stop. From that day, coffee became their daily ritual. They talked about books, dreams, and fears. Emma read his drafts, correcting his grammar and laughing at his clumsy sentences. He, in return, helped her students with creative writing. Slowly, their friendship grew into something softer, something that lived in their hearts, but never yet in their words. One Sunday, Emma invited James to help her plant flowers on her small balcony. He didn't know much about gardening, but he came anyway, carrying a small cactus as a gift. As they worked side by side, he said, "Do you believe in destiny?" Emma thought for a while. "Maybe. I believe some people are meant to meet, not by accident, but by purpose." James smiled. "Then maybe the postman's mistake was destiny." They both laughed, but something changed in the air. The way they looked at each other became slower, deeper. When his hand brushed against hers, neither of them pulled away. The cactus bloomed that night, tiny, bright, and unexpected. Summer arrived and James received an offer to publish his novel, but in New York. It was his dream opportunity. Yet it meant leaving Maplewood and Emma behind. They walked by the river one evening, the golden light reflecting in the water. "You have to go," Emma said softly. hiding her tears. Dreams like this don't come twice. I'll write to you, James promised. Every week, until I come back. She nodded, and I'll wait. When he left, the world felt quieter. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. Letters arrived every Friday, each filled with stories of New York. Busy streets, tall buildings, sleepless nights. But between the lines, Emma could always feel his heart. She replied with letters filled with warmth, about her students, the cat, the blooming cactus. Each word she wrote carried love, though she never said it directly. One Friday, no letter came. Then another week passed. And another. Emma waited by the mailbox every evening, her heart growing heavier. Maybe he forgot. Maybe he was busy. Or maybe he had moved on. Autumn came. The tree outside her window turned red and orange. Still no letter. She tried to move on, focused on teaching, reading, walking alone. But every time she saw the cactus bloom, she remembered his words. Maybe the postman's mistake was destiny. After 6 months, a small package finally arrived. Inside was James's book, Love Beyond Letters. On the first page, a note, Dear Emma, you were my beginning and my inspiration. Every word I wrote was because of you. I didn't write before because I was sick. Nothing serious, just time to rest. I'm coming home next week. Wait for me, one more time. Yours, James. Tears filled her eyes. She ran to the balcony, the wind cold on her face. For the first time in months, she smiled again. When James returned, it was a sunny morning. The bakery smelled sweeter than ever. Emma stood outside, wearing the same yellow dress from the day they first had coffee. He looked thinner but brighter, holding a small envelope in his hand. I wrote you a letter, he said, smiling, but this one I wanted to give in person. He opened it and read aloud. Dear Emma, I've written 1,000 stories, but only one feels true. Ours. Will you be my next chapter? Her heart raced. She didn't answer with words. She stepped forward and hugged him. The kind of hug that says everything words can't. The people in the bakery clapped. Even the postman passing by smiled. Years passed. They got married in the same garden where they first planted flowers. James kept writing. Emma kept teaching. Their home was filled with books, laughter, and letters, hundreds of them, written to each other even when they were in the same room. Every anniversary they read the first letter again, the one that arrived by mistake. It reminded them how destiny sometimes knocks softly on your door, disguised as an ordinary envelope. And every time Emma saw the cactus bloom, she whispered, Love grows where patience lives. Thank you for listening to QuickStory English. We hope you enjoyed this emotional love story and learned some new words today. If you liked it, please like, share, and subscribe for more beautiful English stories every week. See you in the next story. And remember, sometimes love begins with a simple mistake.